Hello everyone. Can everyone hear me? Am I audible? Can you type in the chat box yes so that I'll understand that you're able to hear me? Yes. Okay. Yes, you're audible. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Yes. Okay. Fine. And you all are able to see the screen as well, right? Yes, yes. Okay. Wonderful. Great. So, a very good evening to everyone present here. Okay, I'm very grateful for you all to join. All right. Okay, so before we begin, I wanted to understand where are you all joining from exactly? Can you type in the chat box? I am joining from Mumbai. Mumbai, Mumbai. Anyone apart from Mumbai? West Bengal, okay. Punjab, wow. Anybody else? USA, oh, nice. Okay, great. So, please tell me, are you all ready to start with today's bootcamp? Or you require some more time to settle in? You can type in the chat box, I am ready, so that we both are well settled and then we may begin. Ready? Ready? Okay, fine. Great. So let's begin now. So, once again, welcome to the day one of your free inner child healing bootcamp. Okay, so few days ago, I put in the WhatsApp group, I put up a poll, asking you all that what is the reason, like, what is the reason that brought you here, right? What is the intention behind? What are you looking forward to? Exactly. Right? So many of you all, voted in that poll. Some of you said that I want to heal my emotional wounds. Right? Some of you said that I want to improve my relationships. Okay. Some of you said that I want to be more emotionally stable. I want to be more calm. I want to come out of my overthinking, my anxiety, right? And some people also told that they want to overcome their stress. They want to overcome their physical symptoms, physical health, all of those, right? So today we are going to cover all of this. Okay, not just today, even tomorrow, both these days I have ensured that I will be covering each of these things. Okay, so basically, in these 2 days, I will teach you how to break your emotional burnout and repeating relationship patterns without actually forcing yourself to be strong or suppressing your emotions or feelings anymore. Right? So, let's start with it. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you. Thank you for showing up today, right? I know it's a weekend and you all have many plans, right, in the weekends. But still, you chose to be here in this bootcamp. This itself shows that you are an action taker in your life. Yeah. And just by being here, you have already started your healing journey. Okay. Great. Fine. So now to ensure a safe and focused and emotionally supportive experience for everyone, there are certain things which we both will follow, right? So what is the first one? I want you to keep a notebook and a pen handy. Okay, so now throughout the session, if there are certain things which you notice in yourself, some behavior, some emotions which you notice, or you think some things are relatable to you, and if you want to make a note of it. So, for that, I would want you to keep a notebook and pen handy. Okay, and secondly, this is a very safe and a confidential space. Okay, you will not be judged here. So, whatever you share in the chat box, it is just going to come to me. Okay, so right now I have not changed the settings, but very soon I will change the settings wherein all the things which you share, it is coming just to me. Okay, so please feel free to express any of your emotions, your experiences, your insights without any hesitation. Okay. Okay. And third one is I would want you to be fully present and also respect the process. Okay, so when I say fully present, it means that please avoid doing any kind of multitasking. If you are driving, or if you're cooking something, or if you're watching something on the TV and listening to this bootcamp, please don't do that. Okay, because this space is for you. Okay, so please be fully present and obviously respect the process as well. So whenever we'll be doing any kind of reflection activity, reflection exercises, or certain meditation processes, if you think it is too heavy for you, too emotionally heavy, so if you want to take a pause, you can take pauses and then you can come back. Okay, fine. And the fourth one is you're not expected to have everything figured out, right? Whatever age you are in, you're not expected to have everything figured out. And most people, they have spent their whole life being emotionally misunderstood. Yeah. So today is the first day we change that. Okay. And lastly, if it is comfortable for you, if you're okay, you can keep the camera on as well. Okay, why do I say that? So that you will be able to stay present, stay engaged throughout the session. Okay, we can also connect emotionally if you keep the camera on, but it is not a compulsion, it is your choice. Okay, fine. So, with that, let us start. So, yeah, what you will walk away with once these 2 days are completed, I can guarantee you, I can assure you that you will have lot of emotional clarity. Okay, firstly. Secondly, you will become aware of your patterns. Okay. Thirdly, you will understand all of your triggers and why they keep on repeating. Okay, relief from self blame. You know how in certain situations we always feel that it was my mistake, because of me only all of these things are happening, right? So you will find some relief, you will find some answers to your questions basically. And the missing link, that will finally, you will understand what is a missing link and everything will make sense to you. Okay. And so I can assure you all of these things you will walk away with. And plus, there is also a very special bonus which I have curated for you. So this is basically an inner child wound assessment sheet. Okay, this is going to help you understand and identify your emotional wounds. Okay, so this is basically, it consists of 24 questions. The answers to these 24 questions can be either yes or no. Okay, so on that basis, this assessment is has been created. I'll talk more about it towards the end, but please stay till the end so that you can have access to this bonus. Okay, fine. Okay, so before we begin, I would like to ask you a few questions, and before I ask, let me change the settings of the chat. Someone is saying audio had gone off for a few seconds. Are you able to hear me now? Is there any? Okay, yes. No issues with the audio, right? Not now. Okay, fine. Please let me know if there is any issue with the audio, or if you're not able to see the screen or anything like that. Please feel free to share it in the chat box. Okay. Twice it had gone off. Okay. Are you able to hear me now? Yes. Okay. Okay. So now I have changed the chat settings. Okay. Okay. So now let's start. So before we begin, I would like to ask you a few questions. Okay. The first one is, Do you push yourself even when you're exhausted just to prove that you are capable? Type in the chat box whether it's a yes or no. Yes. Yes. Anybody else? Yes. No. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Fine. The second question is, do you constantly fear being judged, compared, or have this feeling that I am not good enough? Type in the chat box if you feel so. Many times. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Sometimes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Third question is, do small arguments trigger you more deeply than they should? Sometimes. No. Okay. Yes, very much. Many times. Sometimes. Okay. Many times. This has started happening recently, but yes. Okay. Good that you're observing. Whoever has sent that to me. Yes, when with family person. Okay. Fine. The next question is, do the same emotional conflicts repeat again and again in your relationships? Do you feel that? That again and again you are, having the same kind of fights with the people around you. It can be your partner, it can be parents, it can be in-laws. Yes, yes, a lot. Okay. Yes. Yes, with my husband. Okay. Sometimes. Okay. Many times. Yes, with old friends. Okay. Fine. Good, good. You're able to observe all of this. Good. Yes, a lot. Okay. Fine. The next question is, do you numb yourself, like, scroll on the social media or watch TV or binge eat something instead of actually sitting and feeling your emotions? Do you think you do that? Type in yes. I can't type, chat disabled. So, the person who has sent me, I am able to see your message. Okay. So, I have changed the setting wherein you are just supposed to text me directly. Okay. I can see your messages. Yes, a lot. Sometimes, yes, a lot. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Someone has said I have started watching old shows again and again to avoid feeling my emotions. Good. Stress eating is there and I sleep a lot when things go wrong. Correct. Okay. Last one I'll see. Listening song. Okay. Fine. The next question is, do you feel guilty when you take time for yourself or set boundaries? Do you feel that? What do you think? Type in the chat box. I use Instagram a lot. Okay, this was for the previous question. Yes, what will others think about me? Correct. Sometimes. Okay. Yes, makes me feel I'm selfish. Hmm. Yes, what will others think about me? That I'm rude. Okay. Yes, a little. Hmm. Okay. The last question for you is, Do you often feel not enough, that you are not enough, even when others say that you are doing well in life? Why do you feel so? But from inside, do you have any kind of emptiness? Do you feel? Let me check. Sometimes, okay. Yes, always. Yes. Always, every single day, I always feel I am falling short. I can do better. Good. Yes, spiritually and financially and career. Okay. So many of you are already so much aware of your problems. Yes, when the task is not up to my up to my mark. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Fine. So the reason why I asked you all of these questions is you are going to find answers to all these questions. Like, why do I feel that I am not enough? Or why do I feel guilty when I take time for myself? Why can't I sit with my emotions? Why do I always numb myself? Right? So you will get answers to all of these questions. Okay? Fine. So now let's move ahead. Okay. So today we will be covering or unlocking three secrets of your life or of healing, basically. Okay. So what you're going to learn today is, today you're going to understand why your emotional patterns are so hard to break. Okay. Or why logic or willpower hasn't helped you heal or come out of your problems. Okay, so what actually needs to heal inside you? What is that part inside you which requires healing? That is what you will understand today. Okay, and by the end of today, I can assure you, I can guarantee you that you will walk away with three things. Firstly, clarity. Secondly, direction. And thirdly, emotional awareness. Okay, these three things you will walk away with. Okay, now what are these three secrets which we are going to unlock today? First one is, why you feel this way has nothing to do with adulthood. This is the first secret you will come to know. So you will discover what actually shapes your reactions, your triggers, your boundaries, your self-worth, and why your nervous system keeps repeating the same emotional cycles even when you know better. Okay, this is what you will understand today. Second secret is why all your old methods might have failed. Like, for example, we will talk about the beliefs, the random good habits you might have tried, like journaling or affirmations, overworking, suppressing emotions, overthinking, or working extra hard, and why none of them has created lasting change. Okay, this is the second secret we will unlock today. And the third one is, what is a new way to heal, which is more safe, which is more deep, and it is going to help you come out of your problems from the root, eliminate your problems from the root. Okay, so you are going to experience how inner child healing is going to work, how your emotional patterns, how it can be rewired, and how healing actually feels when it is done correctly and with proper guidance. Okay, so now by unlocking all of these secrets, so many of my clients have received success and they have received positive results, and these are some of the many messages which I have received from them. Right, so tomorrow I will be speaking to you about the healing program which I'm going to offer. Okay, fine. So now, before we actually start unlocking our secrets, who is this bootcamp actually for? Okay, so this bootcamp is designed for you if you are a high functioning individual on the outside but emotionally very exhausted. It means that you push through deadlines, you handle responsibilities, and show up strong, but from deep inside, you are still breaking. Okay? Or you overgive in relationships or at work, but you struggle to express your own needs. Okay? So it means that you say yes even when it hurts you just to avoid conflict, and then you later feel guilty also for doing that. Okay, and thirdly, if you get easily triggered, especially by your partner, parents, or you have any kind of workplace pressure. Okay. The fourth one is if you feel disconnected from yourself, if you are unsure of what you want, what you feel, who you are emotionally, if you're very much confused, then this boot camp is for you. Okay. And fifth one is if you have tried everything, if you have tried all those good habits, journaling, therapy, meditation, and nothing has addressed the real cause of your problem, and you're not able to come out of it. Okay. And lastly, this bootcamp is for you if you want to break the generational emotional patterns and stop repeating the same wounds you grew up with. Okay. So most importantly, you want to create a safer emotional world, not just for yourself but also for the people you love, for your future generation as well. Okay. So if you think you are at least one of these, from one of these points, you are at least one of these people, then this boot camp is for you. Okay. So if any of this feels like you are exactly in the right place, because this boot camp today and tomorrow, it will help you understand what's happening inside you and how to finally start healing it from the root. Okay. Fine. So now, before we begin unlocking our secrets, let me share a bit about myself. Okay. I am Priyanka. I am an inner child healer and a life coach. Okay. So I want to take a moment here to talk about my childhood. Okay. And I am not going to, blame anyone. I'm just here to explain myself honestly. Okay. So the how was the environment I grew up in? I grew up in a home where emotions were not talked about. They were rarely talked about. Okay, so love for me was present. Obviously, I was given everything. I was given good home, I was given good education, good food, everything. But the love which was present, it was very much conditional in nature. Like if I achieved something, if I scored good marks, or if I behaved a certain way, then I was given love. Okay, and the environment I grew up in was very much controlling and critical in nature. Okay, so I learned very early on that appreciation came only if I did something to prove. Okay, so I wasn't asked most of the time in my childhood, I wasn't asked that how am I feeling. I was shown that be strong, don't react, and don't complain. Okay, so I unknowingly learned as a child that my needs are inconvenient, or my emotions were too much, or I had to earn love through doing something. Okay, and if I'm responsible, it means I will be accepted by everyone. Okay, so what happened then? So, as a child, I did not feel emotionally safe, so I started adapting. So, I became responsible very early. I became alert to moods. Right. So I also learned to learn to read the room. So as a child, you are supposed to be carefree. You are supposed to be innocent. You are supposed to explore everything. Right. But I would always be, hyper vigilant, or I would be more. People would call me more mature than my age, and people called it strength. But deep down, it wasn't strength. Okay, I instead of being relaxed, I would always stay alert. So how did this show up in my adult life? I started people pleasing in relationships. I started overgiving at work, right? I was facing a lot of anxiety, constant overthinking. I used to feel guilty for resting or saying no. Okay. And I used to be so scared of conflict or confrontation that whenever I had to confront anyone, or if there was any kind of conflict, I would either cry but not show my emotions. I would everything was inside. Okay. Then slowly and slowly, what I understood is that the behavior which I am doing, that is not the problem. It is something else. And what confused me the most when I was, exhibiting all these behaviors is that why do small things affect me so deeply? Why can't I just stay calm? Why am I exhausted even when life is all okay? And when I'm resting, why do I feel guilty? Okay, this used to confuse me the most. So the real problem wasn't my behavior, it wasn't my weakness, it wasn't lack of discipline, it even wasn't mindset, it was my unresolved emotional wounds. My nervous system never learned safety, so I was always in a survival mode. Okay, so when I understood this, when I started healing from the root, I stopped fighting my emotions, I stopped forcing positivity. I started creating inner safety. I did my inner work. I met my inner child. I reparented her with lot of compassion, with lot of kindness. And as I healed my root, my life completely changed. My reaction softened, my anxiety reduced. I was able to keep boundaries. I was able to rest, and more importantly, I felt calm inside my body. Okay, so now why I became a healer or why I do this work today. So, because I know the journey from inside, I know how it feels to carry these invisible wounds into adulthood. I know what can happen if these wounds are finally met with compassion, with safety, with love. So, I just don't know the theoretical knowledge, I have lived through this healing journey. Okay, so this boot camp is designed to help you get that same feeling, but obviously with a lot of safety and love. Okay. Fine. So, with this, now let us start unlocking our secrets one by one. Okay. The secret one, as I told you, is basically you will know, come to know in few minutes that why you behave this way has nothing to do with adulthood and everything to do with your childhood environment. Okay. So, this is the truth that maybe no one told you. You don't struggle because you are weak. You struggle maybe because your environment which you lived in that has shaped your emotional blueprint. So until and unless that emotional blueprint is healed, you will keep reliving childhood patterns inside an adult body. Okay, so now let me show you how your how your childhood home created your adult personality. Okay, so your emotional world was shaped by one or more of these environments. The first one, which we will be covering today, is that if you have lived in a very critical environment, what is going to happen to you as an adult? You are going to be very critical of self, right? You will have a loud inner voice. Second one is if you have lived in an environment which was extremely, emotionally unavailable environment, then it creates a, as an adult, you are going to suppress all of your emotions. Okay. If you have lived in an unpredictable environment, as an adult, you are going to create attraction to chaos and anxiety. Okay, so we will try to understand how this is going to, how this all of this environment, how it is going to affect you in your adult life. So let's understand that one by one. Okay, the first one is critical behavior which leads to loud inner voice in adult. Okay, so now let me have a look at the chat once. Okay, you all are able to hear me, right? Can you put in the chat box if I'm properly audible? Yes, okay, fine. Yes, okay, great. So now I'll be covering the first environment, right? Critical environment, which leads to loud inner voice in adult. Now, when I'm explaining all of this to you, wherever you feel that it is relatable to you or you notice this kind of behavior, please feel free to express in the chat box, okay? So that I will know that you're understanding the concept. Okay, fine. So let's begin with critical behavior. What do you mean by critical behavior? If the environment you used to stay in was very critical in nature, it means that if your primary caretakers, your parents, had constant opinion, always had some or the other live commentary, live remarks, or there was continuous nagging, Then what, like for example, why are you wearing this type of dress, or why did you score so less, or why are you eating so slow, or do your homework first and then go to play. If the parents were highly critical in nature, then what is going to happen? This child is going to grow up as an adult having a loud inner critical voice. Okay? So, the core belief of this adult is basically, am I good enough? Right? So now what happens is that this adult was so much used to that critical voice of the parents when these adults were small, that now when they have become an adult, they do not require their parents voice anymore. Their own voice is very critical. So adults become their own critic. Okay, and because of that they are not able to make any kind of decisions, because all the decisions were made by the parents. Right, so now as an adult when they have to make decisions, they are not able to do that. Even simple decisions like, what to eat in a restaurant, where to go, what to wear, even those small small decisions they are not able to take. Okay, why? Because there is this constant noise in their head, and this constant noise, this inner voice, always tries to create doubts, tries to create confusion in the adult. Okay, so such people, they procrastinate a lot, they also overthink a lot. Okay, so now if you are having all of this, how it is going to impact? It is definitely going to impact in various parts of your life, right? The first one, relationship with self. So if you're born in an environment which is very critical, your inner voice is going to tell you that, or it is going to question you that, am I good enough? Right? So, for example, you are going to the mall to buy new clothes. You know that you need new clothes, you deserve new clothes. But as soon as you reach the mall, you will have this feeling, do I really need new clothes? Am I spending too much? Do I deserve new clothes? Right? Or, for example, I have so much acne on my face. That's why I don't look beautiful. Right? You will always try to, uh, you know, talk very less of you. Okay, and you will always have this feeling that I am not good enough. This is one aspect. Another aspect, relationship with partner. So if you have born in an environment which is very critical in nature, then you become critical of your partner also. Like, why cannot you put the plates in the sink properly? What do you mean you're busy? Can't you message me? Right? Or even in the relationship you feel that maybe I am not good enough for this partner, maybe my partner is tired of me because I'm not contributing. Okay, how it is going to impact your career. For example, I went for a job interview. I know I have studied well, I deserve this job, and I have prepared well. But when you are waiting for your name to be called, you are thinking, will I be selected? Have I prepared enough? Do I deserve this new job? See, now whenever you are doing anything new in your life, having this kind of anxiety is normal. Everyone feels that. But when I say this inner voice, critical inner voice, it means that it is so critical in nature that it will demean you, or it will doubt your abilities to do well in life. It will delay your actions, or it will tell you that you are not good enough to do it, or it will tell you that, you remember last time you did it, that time you failed. Do you think you will be able to do it this time? Right? It is going to hold you back from doing well in life. Right? Or for example, such people, they also have this perfection syndrome, like, I want to start my own business but the market is not good enough, or I want to start my YouTube channel but my editing skills are not good yet, so I will work on this first and then I will do. So you see that inner voice is going to delay your actions again and again. Or for example, I want to write a book but my vocabulary is not that great yet. Okay. Or I really wish to become fit and I want to lose weight. Then your mind will tell you, oh, do you think you will be able to do it this time? Remember the last time you tried and then you failed, right? Or I want to do something new. I want to try Zumba workout, just for example. Your mind will tell you, no matter how many new things you will try, you will fail each time, right? So this is how critical behavior or critical environment is going to lead to loud inner voice in adult. Okay, were you able to relate with anything, or no? Can you please share in the chat box? Anything, any question do you have, or should I continue? Yes, perfection syndrome. Hmm. Yes. Okay. Anybody else? A lot of things actually. Hmm. So today we are going to spend maximum of our time in becoming aware. Okay. So whatever things you feel are relatable, please ensure that you're writing it down. I am critical of my partner and many more. Hmm. Anything else? Okay. Let's move ahead. So this was about critical behavior which leads to loud inner voice in adult. The next one is emotional unavailability, which leads to inability to understand or express emotions. Okay, so let us understand this. Now, when a child is growing up, it is definitely going to require assurance, like protection or support from the parents, right? Not just physical protection, but also emotional support, right? Now, sometimes the parents they were not capable of giving emotional support to the child. Maybe they were not capable, maybe they did not receive it as a child, or they were too busy for the child, right? So this emotional unavailability can be constant, like throughout the childhood. The child felt that maybe my parents were not there for me, right? Or it can be sporadic, like in certain events of the child's life it felt that when I needed my mother the most or when I needed my father the most, they were not there, right? For example, I was bullied at school today. Where were you? Or you are always traveling, you are never there for me, right? So the child is going to feel that when I needed you the most, you were never there for me. So my trust is broken. So the child's trust on the parents is broken. Okay. So what is going to happen now? Now, sometimes it is also possible that the parents they believe that I have given good education, good food, shelter, physical support to the child, my job is over. Right? But when emotional support was needed, it was not given. What is going to happen? The child is going to feel that my parents were only not available for me. Why will anybody else be there? Right? So the child starts believing that nobody cares. Right? And in certain vulnerable situations, whenever they come across any vulnerable situation or any challenging situation, they feel that it is best to suppress my emotions, not share it with anyone. And when they keep it inside, obviously, since they are suppressing the emotions, they are not able to sit with their emotions, they will look for some or the other distraction. Distraction in school can be sports or studies. Distraction in adults can be job, their work, career, anything. Right? So they feel that hiding my emotions is the best because even if I express, no one is there to understand. Okay? So they cannot sit idle and they always want some or the other external stimuli to feel okay. Okay? So they feel okay when they are busy, but when they are alone, they just cannot sit with their emotions. Okay, because the child was so much used to process its own emotions, keep everything inside, it feels that I'm the only one who understands myself and there is no one else. Okay, so as an adult they cannot express emotions, they cannot understand others emotions, so they are always in some or the other misunderstandings or a lot of confusion in their life. Okay, so such people they can be either extremely sensitive in nature. Okay, for example, they think like I have to be there for everyone around me because I know how it felt when no one was there for me, right? Either they will be too sensitive or they will be completely opposite, they will be very insensitive. No one was there for me when I needed them the most, so why should I bother now for anybody else? right? This is how it happens. So now this child is growing up as an adult having difficulty in understanding and expressing emotions. So how it is going to affect relationship with self? I am feeling so anxious, but let me just go for a run with loud music. This feeling will go on its own, right? Or I had a fight with my parents. I feel angry, but why should I confront them as if they are going to understand me, right? Or relationship with partner. So such people, when they grow up, they become extremely avoidant. Their behavior becomes very avoidant in nature. What do you mean by avoidant? For example, whenever there is a fight, this avoidant partner says things like, why are you talking now? Do you think talking is going to solve anything? Just go to sleep. Okay, so such people, what happens is they commit to long term commitment. They are able to do that unless and until you give them that space. If you don't give them that space, then they are not able to communicate properly. Okay, so such people, they cannot have deep conversation, they cannot be vulnerable, and they try to procrastinate a lot, right? And generally this avoidant person attracts whom? Anxious people. So this is how avoidant partner and anxious partner, they come together. Both of them have their own childhood wounds, or they have their own wounds, and they are coming together. So the anxious person wants to solve everything then and there, and the avoidant person wants to just leave that room wherever the fight is happening and just be with themselves. Okay, and if this avoidant person, if he or she finds a partner who is very much emotionally available for that person, then they will doubt that person also. Like, my partner is there for me at all the times. How is this possible? I think I should avoid him or her. Right? So, this is how it happens. Okay? Impact on career. Now, for example, I have got promoted to become a manager. But now I have become a manager, it means I have to manage my juniors, understand the situation. If they want to take a leave, I have to understand like who they are not well, there maybe someone else is not well. So I have to understand all of that. I'm so incapable of doing it, right? Or impact on health. Now, if you keep all of these emotions inside and you do not know how to release it in a healthy way, so if you have a lot of suppressed emotions, unprocessed emotions inside you, you are going to face a lot of health issues. Okay, like blood pressure, heart issues, thyroid, diabetes, etc. Okay, am I making sense? Are you able to relate with anything? Do you want to share anything? Please put it in the chat box. I'm looking at the chat box. Do you relate with anything? Do you notice any kind of behavior? Do you have any questions? Okay, I'll just give more 20 seconds. If you have anything, then please feel free to express. Otherwise, I'll move ahead. Cannot sit idle and suppressing emotions is relatable. Okay. Yes, I feel anxious and avoidant behavior with people and sometimes do have health issues. Okay, fine. I am very sensitive. Good, good. You are able to relate. Good, you are becoming aware also. So, why am I saying good? Because now you know exactly what is the problem, right? So, you can work towards it. I am very sensitive. My partner is avoiding. Yeah, it happens. Many avoidant people, they attract anxious and vice versa. Okay, fine. So, now let's move to the third environment. Okay, so there are different types of environment actually, but because of time constraint, I'm only covering three today. Okay. The third one is unpredictable environment, which leads to attraction to chaos in adult. Okay, let us understand what is this. So, now for a healthy psychological development of a child, it requires predictable environment. Okay, what do you mean by predictable environment? It means that the child should know what is the routine of my parents, what are their behaviors, what are their timings, right? It should know everything so that the child can be carefree, can be innocent, can explore everything, right? So this is what you call as a predictable environment. But sometimes the environment in which the child is growing up in can be unpredictable in nature. For example, if the child has seen a lot of financial issues in the house, or if there is continuous rental house change, or if there is someone in the family who is not well and there is frequent hospital visits, what is going to happen to the child? For it, the environment is not predictable, it is unpredictable. So it grows up as an adult who is attracted to chaos. Okay, this is one aspect of unpredictability. Another aspect is, for example, consider this is a normal happy house. Okay, all of them are having their meal together, enjoying, having good conversations, and they are all happy. Okay, this is a normal happy house. Now in an unpredictable environment, suddenly, they were having food, everything was normal. Suddenly, there is some argument between the parents, some conversation, some fight was happening, and suddenly they started throwing each other food. They started, shouting at each other. Total chaos in the house. Okay, so what is going to happen to the child when suddenly sometimes the things are normal, sometimes there is some kind of fight, something different happening in the house? When this keeps on happening, when this is very much constant, the child is going to feel that we were all eating food, what happened, right? Or if this unpredictable environment is very much constant in the house, the child, maybe it is coming back from school to its house and it will feel, oh, maybe the house will be tense today. I have to be active, proactive at all the times. I have to make sure my mother's mood is okay, my father's mood is okay. Okay, they should not come at me, they should not come to me and scold me, so let me behave good, let me pretend to study, let me pretend to eat my food properly, I should not create any fuss, right? This is what happens. So now this child has spent so much time being in chaos or always being alert. Chaos becomes a new normal for that child. So such children, or even as an adult, they only do well under stress or if there is any pressure of some deadline, or they will only do work when someone is following up with them. Such children are also those children who, who do last minute studying for their exam. They know that the exam dates come very much earlier only, right? So they won't study throughout the year, only during the last few months or few days they'll start studying. Okay, why? Because they find chaos very familiar and they will only do good work under stress. Okay, or even if life is very much peaceful, they will find it very awkward, like how is life so peaceful, something should go wrong. So they will try to create chaos subconsciously, and when they try to create, chaos definitely happens. So they manifest chaotic relationships. Either there will be some or the other chaos in their life, at least either the partner will be in chaos, or they will attract in-laws who are very much, chaotic in nature. The partner's health can be in chaos. They will also manifest some financial issues in their life. Okay, and now if you're attracted to chaos, it is going to again impact in various parts of your life. How will be your relationship with partner? Now, for example, here the husband is the one who is attracted to chaos, right? So he feels that everything is fine in this relationship. Is it normal, or is it something, something's going to drift apart now? Okay, so they attract partners full of drama, full of chaos, and they keep, expecting things to go wrong. So for them, calm, it feels boring or suspicious. Okay, even in career, so such people, they excel in crisis management. If there is any kind of crisis uh, in the office, they will do well in that. But wherever there is any kind of structure, any kind of discipline is required, they struggle in routine. So such people, they always say that I do my best under pressure, I do my best when I know there is some consequence to it. Okay, so this is how it impacts. Now, again, any questions, anything you want to share? Let me have a look at the chat box. Any behavior do you notice in yourself? Do you relate to anything? Any questions do you have? Okay, I see one. Ma'am, how do I know my childhood? I forget everything. Don't worry. Even the person who has asked me this, even if your mind is trying to forget those things, but your body remembers. Okay? Tomorrow we will be doing a process wherein I will help you understand your childhood more. Okay? Anybody else who wants to share anything? Okay, I'll be waiting for more 15 seconds. If anybody wants to share or ask questions, can ask. Otherwise, I'll move ahead. My child is facing these chaos. I lived in joint family. There were unhappy conversations that still haunt in my adulthood. Something tense will happen in family in get together. I feel I attract chaotic relationships. Very beautiful observation. Very beautiful. Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, let's move ahead. Fine. Okay. So one question I want you to reflect on is: do you feel you similar patterns they keep repeating in your life? Similar patterns, as in relationship conflicts, like similar kind of fights keep on happening, maybe with the husband, with in-laws, or you think you keep attracting toxic partner, like someone just said that they keep attracting a chaotic partner, right? Or you feel that you're not able to say no. Anyone? I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. In the next slide, only you will understand. Anybody wants to answer? Yes, repeat same. Okay. I am single. Okay, no problem. Yes, very much. Okay. Relationship conflicts. Okay. Yes, repeat patterns from 14 years. Okay. I am not able to say no to most people. Okay. Fine. So, why am I asking this? There is this formula, okay? What is it called? The environment adult pattern formula. What does it mean? Your adult behavior, it is not random. It comes from a predictable pattern. Okay? It means that the environment you grew up in, because of that environment, it has become a belief in you. Okay? And that belief, because you have come to know a certain thing, certain belief, it has become your behavior now. And because you keep on behaving a similar way, it has become your own identity. And now, because it has become your identity, this is how you are with yourself. This is your relationship with self. If I'm not making any sense to you, you will come to know in the next slide. For example, if you are born in a very critical home, critical environment, then what is your belief? What is your behavior? It is that I must be perfect all the time, right? So this leads to overthinking. This leads to perfectionism. If you are in an environment which is extremely cold emotionally, then you feel that my feelings don't matter, right? This leads to emotional shutdown. Or if you are born in an unpredictable environment, you will be very hyper vigilant in nature. You will always feel that I must stay alert, right? So again, if I have, if I want to make it even more simpler for you, for example, your adult problem is I miss the train. Okay, I want you to, pay very I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying right now, okay, for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Your problem, for example, is I missed my train. Now if you have missed your train, what is the solution? You just need to download a train app, train schedule app, maybe M indicator, something like that, wherein you will understand what is the time of the train, right? If you dig one level deeper, I missed the train because I forgot to check the time. What is the solution for this? If you forgot to check the time, maybe you did not wake up early, so just try setting alarms. If you set alarms, you'll be able to wake up early, right? If you dig one level deeper, I forgot to check the time because I woke up late. You woke up late, meaning you maybe did not sleep earlier the other day. So try doing some meditation. It will, calm your mind. Okay. If you dig one level deeper, why did I wake up late? Because my body was restless. It was anxious at night. So maybe the solution for this is, try gratitude journaling. It will allow your mind to tell you that you need to be grateful for so many things. You don't have to be anxious. So try doing gratitude journaling and then go to sleep. Maybe you won't be restless or you won't be anxious. This is a solution, right? Now, if you dig one more level deep, that why my body is restless, why am I anxious at night? Then you might come with a solution or come with next step is maybe I struggle with planning and following through things. I don't have discipline in my life, right? So what is the solution? You just need to make a strict schedule, make a timetable, write down all those to-do lists and try to tick as soon as you have completed. So if you make a strict schedule, you will be disciplined in life. Now, if you dig one more level deep, what do you feel that why am I not, my problem is just I'm missing the train every day. I wake up late, I miss the train. Yeah, the night before I'm not able to sleep properly. Is something wrong with me? Why cannot I get things right? Is missing train such a big thing? It's such a small thing. I'm not able to do that also, right? Maybe something is wrong with me. Now, what is this? Something is wrong with me or I can't get things right is your root belief. And from where has this come? Maybe you lived in an environment wherein you were not allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes were criticized. Safety, feeling safe was conditional. Love was conditional. So you learned to be hard on self. So this is nothing but your root cause, the impact of your environment, which allowed you to think that something is wrong with me, or I struggle with planning. I struggle making, showing discipline in life, or that's why I am so anxious at night. Okay, so all these boxes which you see, which are in green in color, these are all the perfect solutions. But these solutions, they only manage the behavior. They don't heal the belief or the nervous system. Okay, so root healing, when does it happen? When that belief is healed, when your emotional safety is restored, or when your nervous system it learns to regulate. Okay, so for you to make this chart, I am going to share an emotional pattern mapping worksheet with you. So the first bonus which I'll be sharing with you is that assessment sheet, inner child wound assessment sheet, wherein there are 24 questions. Okay, and you have to just answer whether it is a yes or a no. Apart from that, I am also going to share this worksheet with you in which you will be able to map your emotional pattern. When you will be solving this worksheet, you will become so much aware about your patterns, about your problems, about your behavior, about your emotions. Okay, and awareness is the first step towards healing. Okay, so this sheet which I'll be sharing on WhatsApp, this is just a snippet of it. Okay, this slide is not the complete sheet. This is just a snippet. It basically has a table and it has got various stages. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that, there are 7 stages, and then there is something called as guided prompt. So it will help you answer. Okay, once you do that, you will exactly know what things I need to work on. Okay, fine. So that was all about secret one. Now we will come to secret two. Why the old methods which you might have tried never worked for you. Okay, so now all the problems which you are facing in your life, like you told in the poll, right, in the WhatsApp group which I shared, emotional wounds, relationship conflicts, all of that. So tell me, how have you tried to resolve your issues? I'll give an example. Have you tried staying positive? You try to vent it out to someone, you try to escape from that situation. You tried meditation, yoga, workout, journaling. You try to forgive, forget, or move on. How did you try? Please put in the chat box so that I will know. What all have you tried to resolve your issues? I tried all of this. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, someone says venting out. Okay. Anybody else? Meditation, yoga. Okay. I tried to forgive. Okay. Staying positive and forget or move on. Okay. Yoga, distraction, meditation, positive thinking. I tried venting out and sometimes escape it. Okay. Fine. Now tell me, you have tried all of this. Most of you all have tried all of this. So has it worked for you? Were you able to get out of your problem, of your issues permanently? Yes or no? No. No. Okay. Anybody else? No. 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 Okay. Fine. Uh, I tried all of this, but no. Okay, fine. See, why everything you tried so far has only given you temporary relief. You don't lack discipline. You only lack the right method. See, most people try to fix their deep wounds with surface level tools. Like they will try meditation, journaling, exercise, positive thinking. They will try to, watch some motivational videos or podcasts. They will try to do affirmations, yoga, healing, quotes on Instagram, etc. See, these things help, no doubt, but only temporarily because they clean only the surface and not the source. Okay, let me explain you with this with one example. As you can see in on the screen, there is this room. Okay, this room has not been cleaned for several years. It is very dirty. Okay, and apart from it being dirty, there is also a dead mouse in that room. Okay, so because of this dead mouse, when you enter this room is smelling a lot. Okay, so this room along with that dead mouse is basically your it is a metaphor for your cluttered mind right now with a lot of unprocessed emotions. Okay, so now for that stink smell, the room is smelling a lot, right, because of the dead mouse. If you try to put some room freshener to it or some kind of, what do you say, perfume to it, do you think the smell is going to go away? It might go away for a small amount of time, but once the effect of that room freshener goes away, it is going to come back. Right? So, what is the actual solution to this problem, or what is the root cause of this problem? Is this dead mouse. So, now all of this, the methods which I told you, right? The meditation, journaling, venting out, all of this is nothing but a room freshener right now to your mind. It is all going to act temporarily, but for permanent solution, what is supposed to be done for this room is basically you need to clean the room properly. Remove that dead mouse first, clean the room properly so that all that smell goes away. After that, if you put any kind of room freshener or perfume, the smell is going to stay. Right? So once you have decluttered your mind, once you have let go of all those emotional wounds, all of those unprocessed emotions, then you try doing meditation, then you try doing journaling, and everything is going to work wonders for you. Okay? So this was a point I wanted to make. Okay? And while on your healing journey, there are so many people who do so many mistakes. They have a lot of myths, they have a lot of misconceptions. The first one is, I should be able to heal alone. Okay, so many people, they feel that I am strong enough to fix this on my own, or I just need more willpower, right? Or I don't have trauma, maybe I'm just overthinking, right? But the truth is, you cannot fix emotional wounds created in relationships alone. Healing requires co-regulation, it requires safety, and it requires a guided emotional release. Okay, this is the first mistake people feel. The second one is generally done by all. They feel that if I just stay busy, the pain will go away. Okay, so there are so many people, they believe that if I keep myself occupied, I won't feel anything, or work will distract me from what's hurting inside. Yeah, if I just stay productive, I won't have to deal with my emotions. But here's the truth: if you know if you try to stay constantly busy, it means you are delaying your healing journey, and you suppress your real emotions. It also means that your body will try to collect stress like a pressure cooker until you will explode one day. Okay, just a second. Okay, the third mistake people do is, my childhood was normal, so this can't be trauma. Right? People often say that nothing happened to me, I wasn't abused, or my parents provided me with food, they provided me with education, so why do I feel this way? Right? See, trauma is not what happened to you, it is also what you needed but you never received. Okay, maybe you have gone through some emotional neglect which you are also not aware of, like not being comforted when I needed them the most, or not being allowed to express emotions, or being compared with others, right? Or getting love only when I did certain things. Okay, so please understand that you do not have to have very dramatic childhood events or childhood trauma. Okay, you just need to have repeated moments wherein you felt that maybe my emotional needs were ignored. That's it. Okay, so these are some of the concept misconceptions people, they feel. Okay, so one of my client, her name is Kritika Rai, I have changed the name obviously for her privacy, but she was going through the second misconception that if I just stay busy, the pain will go away. And before her healing journey, she was actually very hardworking, she was very sincere, but she was constantly criticized and she was ignored at work, and she believed that I am not good enough. Okay, and she felt drained, she felt invisible, and she was always stuck in self doubt. Okay, now during her healing journey, she realized that her workplace struggles, it reflected her own childhood wounds. The office she was in, it was acting as a mirror to her own wounds. When she understood this, she connected with her inner child. She reparented the younger self, and she learned how to release all those triggers and stored emotions safely. And after her healing journey, the criticism, it no longer crushed her because she was very secure here. And that only happened because of inner child healing. And now she responds calmly. She has stopped overworking for approval and she has learned how to build healthy boundaries. And now she feels confident, she feels balanced, and she feels very proud and secure within. And once she completed her healing journey, this was the message which she sent me. Okay, so why am I sharing you all of this is basically to let you know that healing is possible. It is possible to come out of your problems whether you are stuck in it for 5 years or 50 years, doesn't matter. If you put in the correct efforts and with proper guidance, healing is possible and coming out of your problem is possible. The only thing you need to do is take action for yourself. That's it. Okay? Now, finally, the secret three, which I am very excited to share with you, it is basically the new method which I will be teaching you, which finally heals from the root. Okay? So, if the old methods which you have tried, it has only managed your symptoms, this method finally is going to help you heal from the root. Okay, so everything changes when you stop fixing your reactions and you start healing that part of you which feels them. Okay, see, most people they try to control their adult behavior, but the real struggle is very much deeper. It is basically the unhealed emotional patterns which might have formed in childhood. Okay, so your triggers today are not random or your reactions are not weakness. Your fears are not overthinking, they are basically the younger version of you which is still holding on to that emotional pain. Okay, and this is the core of inner child healing. And the major part of the healing we are going to do tomorrow. Today is all about becoming aware of our patterns, becoming aware of our emotions. Okay, so now when I say inner child healing, we need to first understand what is an inner child before we begin with our healing tomorrow. Okay, so what is an inner child? Let's understand that. Now, when a child is born, it is born in its true, authentic self. Okay, the only thing it needs to learn is basic communication. Okay, but when this child is growing up, it can be wounded by someone's behavior, some unhealthy traumas, etc. And this is called as an emotionally wounded child. What is this emotionally wounded child? Basically, when the child is told again and again by the people around them that your authentic self needs to be changed. For example, apply this cream, then you will become fair. Or boys don't cry, boys are supposed to be strong. Or enough of playing, go and study. What is happening here? The child is made to believe that your true self is not that good enough. So you need to remove something which is your authentic self. Belief and concept about self is changed. And when that happens, this inner child inside you becomes wounded. Okay. So in if your inner child is wounded, what is going to happen? The child's psychological development is arrested. It means that they will start having unhealthy belief of self, like I am not good enough, my marks are low, so I am a loser, right? Or I am ugly, my parents are not proud of me, right? Even as an adult, if your inner child is wounded, you will feel very guilty. For example, I am a bad mother, I am not taking care of my child, I'm not giving time to my child, I'm not taking care of my in-laws, right? This makes me a bad mother or a bad person. Okay, this is one aspect. Another is when the child's feelings are repressed a lot. For example, a small example I'll give you. There's a small child who is just learning to walk. Okay, and suddenly it falls down and it begins to cry. Or if the child is missing its father a lot and the child is crying, the mother is suddenly going to pick up the child and starts distracting it with the toy. The child is distracted and starts smiling. Now, I'm not saying this is a wrong behavior, what the mother is doing. This is a very natural thing for everyone to do, right? But what the child is going to learn, oh, distraction is going to make it easy for me. I don't have to feel all these emotions. I just have to distract myself. Okay, so this is now very small example I gave you. But in the childhood, if you have felt that I was not given, you know, not given a space to express emotionally without any fear of judgment, so what the child is going to do, it is going to look for distractions. Now when you become an adult and in the relationship, for example, if there is any kind of vulnerable situation, any challenging situation, Then you try to look for distraction. This distraction can be binge eating, it can be binge watching something, it can be sleeping, it can be anything. Correct? So, and the third one is it contaminates the person's adult behavior. Now, what do you mean by this? Or how it happens? So, basically, all the emotions which we feel, be it positive or be it negative, they are nothing but energies. Okay, and it is also important for us to understand that we are not supposed to run away from all the emotions. We are supposed to feel all these emotions. Okay, and emotions are nothing but energies, and we have learned in our school that energies can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred, right? So if all these emotions, they are, if they were kept inside and not allowed to come out, then it can turn into various physical health problems. Some women, they suffer from PCOD, PCOS, hormonal imbalance. Some people, they suffer from gut problems. It is all because of this unprocessed emotions inside them, which they never learned how to release it in a healthy way. Okay, so this is how, this is what do you mean by emotionally wounded child, and also what is an inner child. Okay, once I have given you a small concept about all of this, now let me tell you why inner child healing actually works. This we are going to experience tomorrow. Okay, but why does it work? Basically, inner child healing goes into the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. Okay, it works on the nervous system and not just motivational willpower or something like that. Okay, it is going to go towards the root. It is going to help you heal your root emotional wound and not the adult symptoms. It is not going to solve, or what do you say, it is not just going to take care of your behaviors. It is first going to understand what is the root cause, what is the root belief which is making you miss the train, for example. Okay, so that is how it works. And it is going to build emotional safety, which is a foundation for all lasting change. Okay, so no habit, no podcast, no positive thinking can reach this much depth, right? Because your emotional patterns, they were not created logically, they were created emotionally. So it needs to be healed also emotionally. You cannot heal an emotional wound with logic, you need to heal it with emotions only, right? Fine. So, one more exercise I want you to do. This is for tomorrow actually, but still do it today. First step is I want you to go back to your childhood environment, and I want you to identify one repeating emotional pattern from your early environment. So it can be criticism, it can be comparison, it can be blame, shouting, silence, control, unpredictability, favoritism, anything. You can share it in the chat box. So, if I give you my example, one repeating emotional pattern for me was criticism. My mother was extremely critical in nature. She would not just be critical, she would be very controlling also. Okay, all my timetable was set by her. What time I'll get up, what will I do, what time will I study, everything. And I was not allowed to, have my own opinions. So, what like that? What was your repeating pattern? Someone has asked me, so how do you correct your child? Hmm. See, I can tell you one thing. Children, they do not learn by you telling them to do something. They will learn by observing. If you identify what is your behavior, what is your emotion, what is the root cause of it, and once you heal yourself, after you identify that, children are going to learn from there. Okay, somewhere or the other, the our primary caretakers, the way we behave with them, the relationship which we had with them in our childhood, it shapes our personality. Okay, whether we like it or not. And the same thing we do it for our child also. Correct. So hence it is very important before we begin to correct our child, before we start blaming the child or trying to correct it. Basically, we need to do our own inner work first, because we need to model behaviors to the child, not sit and correct them. Okay, so first I would like you to introspect in yourself first, then you might get answer. Everything you say. Okay. Anybody else? Control. Okay. I have repeating comparisons and control from parents. Comparison, controlling, shouting, blaming. Okay, fine. Now, whenever this pattern happened as a child, I used to feel what? So, you used to feel frustrated, you used to feel angry. So, whenever my mother would, show a lot of control and critical behavior, I would feel that I cannot have any opinion of my own. I just have to surrender to whatever she's saying. This is what I used to feel, and I also used to feel very frustrated, very angry on her, but I did not know how to express it back then. So, what was your feeling? Almost all what you have mentioned. Okay. Anybody else wants to share their emotions? I just accepted and blindly followed whatever they said. Correct. Same thing, even I used to feel this back then. Okay. Step 2 is, now I want you to observe your adult life. Okay. And I want you to tell me that where do I see the same pattern repeating in my life today? Is it in work? Is it with partner, friends, family, parenting? So for me, for example, my mother was very critical, as I told you. So I used to be very critical of my partner as well. Very critical. So what was for you? Anybody wants to answer? Anybody? I'll wait for more 15 seconds and then I'll go ahead. My partner. I lacked I lack direction and need someone to tell me what to do. Okay. Now, when this pattern shows up, how does it make me feel emotionally? Anybody? So, now when I used to be very critical of my partner, I knew from inside, in my conscious, that I'm doing something wrong, but somehow, I don't know why or how, I would still be very critical of him. So it would frustrate me. I would feel that I'm in some conflict. Like from inside, I would know that this is wrong, but my actions would still be very critical in nature. Unless until I healed and I understood where this pattern is coming from. After that, I have become more aware and I don't do it anymore. But back then, I used to feel like this. Okay. So you felt overwhelmed, you felt angry, were scared, numb, you wanted to shut down. What was it for you? Anybody? Okay. Lost. Okay. I feel anxious and sometimes shut myself down. Okay. Fine. So now the next one is, how do you think this pattern is impacting your relationships and decisions today? How do you think? Anyone wants to answer? I'll just take one answer and then we'll move ahead. Anyone? It makes me feel sad. It caused conflicts in life, correct? It's draining actually. Low self esteem. Okay, fine. See, you are able to label all your emotions. Okay, you are becoming aware of all of your emotions. Okay, so what all did we cover today? We basically unlocked three secrets. Okay, first one is why you feel this way. It has nothing to do with adulthood. So we studied three impacts of environment. Okay, then we understood second secret is that why all your old methods failed. Okay, basically we understood that the old habits only treat the symptoms and not the actual root cause. Okay, and the third one is we basically understood there is a new way to heal, which is through inner child healing. So tomorrow we will be focusing more on this advanced inner child healing. Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you so much once again for joining, and tomorrow we will meet at the same time at 7:30. Bye, good night.